It's not easy being a man. This is Torah in 2 minutes-ish, and we learn that from Avram. Avram, we meet this week in Parshat Lecha, this beginning chapter 12 of Genesis. He begins as Avram. He leaves his homeland at God's request, and he goes to the promised land, and as soon as he gets there, he leaves again. Why? There's a famine. He goes down with his beautiful wife Sarai to Egypt, and says to her, because you're beautiful, they may kill me to take you. Please lie, tell them that you're my sister. That way all will go well by me. Which is to say that Avram is willing to put his wife at risk of rape in order to protect himself. Nachmanides, the great Torah commentator, points out this is a sin. Maybe we shouldn't need Nachmanides to tell us this, but it's worth pointing out. He says this is the wrong thing. It's not proper for a man to protect himself, and in the process put a woman who, especially in the ancient world, by definition, is more vulnerable. She has less ability to physically defend herself against attackers and against those who don't wish her well. Part of his duty is to protect, and he has to get that. And part of our mutual obligation in this world is to protect those who are more vulnerable than we are. Which is to say, the wrong reaction of Avram is the one that he has, which is to say, since something bad could happen to me, I'm going to put you at greater risk. This is worth mentioning because we still live in a society where sometimes we have a hard time getting that. That part of our role is to ensure that nobody feels vulnerable, and on a certain level that means that we all have a certain shared amount of risk. The idea that Avraham did the right thing here, that it was okay to put his wife at a greater risk of rape in order to protect himself, is one that I think is foreign to the Jewish tradition. He makes a mistake, and we can admit that. Sometimes leaders, even great ones like Avraham, make mistakes. We're supposed to learn from that. And from the beginning of Avraham's story, we learn that part of the role of those who have relatively more power than others is to try and make sure that we protect the vulnerable. That's where the story of the Jewish people begins. We've learned it well over the last few thousand years, and now is no time to forget it. May we be blessed with a peaceful Shabbat and one where we remember that our shared duty is to look out for each other. Shabbat Shalom.